So, how do you tell your boss you want to work less hours? Well, it might just be that you want to work less hours and you don't really care about the pay. You can just tell them that, and if they value you, they'll keep you around. But say you want to work fewer hours and maybe you want the same salary. Well, that's a whole different beast. So, we have 5 steps today that we're going to cover to help you tell your boss that you want to work less hours. First, come prepared with the stats on what you achieve in the company. It's going to be helpful for your boss to see what it is that you do in your typical work week. If you want to work fewer hours, how are they going to know that it's okay for the company? So, the more stats that you have on what you're doing, how you're spending your time, and what you think will happen if you work fewer hours, that's going to help your boss in being your advocate with this decision. Second, you want to be able to explain how fewer hours will benefit the company. What's going to happen when you're not around? How will the company actually benefit from you not being there? Will there be less costs in regards to staff that support your position? Maybe there's going to be other costs that are saved. Explain how having fewer hours is going to benefit the company. Third, propose a test run. What would this look like if you tried it just for a month or so? Decide how are we going to evaluate whether or not this experiment works? How are we going to look at whether or not it makes sense for the company and for you and for your boss? How do we make sure that your boss doesn't look like an idiot to their boss? You want to make sure that your boss looks like they're innovative and that they came up with a new way of helping attract top talent. So propose a test run and say we can always go back to the current model, but let's just give it a whirl. Fourth, share how other companies are doing this. Figure out what you want and find other companies that have done what you're trying to propose. For example, share how Microsoft Japan saw a 40% increase in productivity when they went to a 4-day work week. Stats like that will make your boss think, wow, this person's really innovative. I want to make sure that I align myself with them and that I'm able to go to my boss and say, this person's awesome. Let's try this more. Lastly, keep track of what you do during this experiment. What do you achieve and set key performance indicators? You want to be able to give a solid report back to your boss about how you used the hours and how you actually achieved the same amount in fewer hours. By showing that boost in creativity and that boost in innovation, that's going to help make the case that this should be a permanent change, where you're working fewer hours and making the same amount of money. So that is how you tell your boss that you want to work less hours. For more tips on how to optimize your brain to work less and to make more, head on over to practiceofthepractice.com where you will see tons of resources on growing your business.